3, 2, 1, action. Greetings, guys. Blessings unto y'all. Hope you're doing well. Here today for a special interview, special video with my brother, my friend, producer, Andrew Thursby-Pelham. Yes, Andrew Thursby-Pelham. And this is called an interview behind the new release spiritual songs, you know, because a lot of times we have, you know, in music, a lot of people like the songwriter, the singer, the performer gets a lot of, you know, attention, you know, and all that sort of thing. But the music producer, I mean, the music producer is the real MVP. They're the one that should, you know, really be getting, you know, hats off and all their flowers. It's kind of like in ministry as well, right? You think of pastors and preachers, they're always at the front. A lot of people, they're getting their flowers, a lot of acknowledgement. But the real MVP is those prayer warriors, those 70-year-old grandmas who are praying nonstop for those pastors and those congregations. It's that man who's really just praying. He's in the secret place, he's in the prayer closet, and his prayers are coming down from heaven, and they're just making changes in earth. So yeah, I find that same principle really applies in the music world as well. So today, gonna point the light to my brother Andrew. And Andrew, did you want to introduce yourself?
Jett's already introduced me, but hi everyone, I'm Andrew, and I produced Jett's newest album, Spiritual Songs.
Yes, 100%. So without further ado, let's get into it. So brother, tell us a bit about your music history. Give us, you know, your resume, your credentials.
Okay, well, I've got a long history. I played in bands for, I don't know, about 15 years, and then got into production after that. So, yeah, it's been a long career. I started out when I was about, I think my first proper gigs were as a 16 or 17-year-old. Moved up to, you know, moved through the ranks and got better bands, and I don't know, I'm getting a bit lost now, dude. We're going back so far. But generally, yeah, I mean, I'm not super famous or anything, that's for sure, but you know, I made a career out of it, and yeah, I've done a lot of writing over the years, a lot of recording. The genres have changed. I'm up for pretty much anything. I guess my forte for a while was rock fusion.
Tell us about that.
It has, well, basically it's rock, but it uses jazz technology, I guess you'd say, jazz techniques. Not that I'm a great jazz player, but I really loved it. And some of my influences were Jeff Beck, the guitar player, Al Di Meola, another guitar player, the Mahavishnu Orchestra. These are 70s bands that were huge back then. Mostly instrumental, in fact all instrumental. So, and I guess a highlight band for me was playing with a pretty famous drummer in Australia. We formed a band, and that became kind of like a de facto a rebirth, I guess, of a pretty famous Australian band. But we were exploring some fantastic new areas in music. It was a great adventure.
He's playing the humble card, everyone. He's a musical genius. He's a very established musician as well.
Musical genius.
Come on, share.
Really overstated, dude.
Share more, man.
So yeah, that was a big highlight, playing with my friends. We had a trio that, yeah, we became pretty well known, especially among the musicians demographic, I guess, in Perth. Pretty quickly. Unfortunately, it didn't last long. We had health problems kind of put a stunt in our growth. And also another interesting thing happened. Punk rock became a big thing, and punk made us not cool anymore. You know, all the great, the pinnacle. I'd say that era just prior to punk was like the pinnacle of, musical excellence in the.
So you were born in the 50s, so this is the 70s era that you were kind of coming up and making waves and...
Yeah. And but things changed after that quite a lot. Like I said, we weren't cool anymore. It was very depressing. In fact, I didn't do much for the next 4 years at all. I don't think any of us did. So that was a bit of a break. There was other bands before that. I went on to play in a number of other bands that were not, they were basically pop bands, pop rock bands, I even did, in my 30s, I think the last band I did was Cold Chisel Concept Band. So I was up there pretending to be Ian Moss. Which was very weird, but and that was kind of short. I did one tour, that was it. I sort of was having an identity crisis over the whole thing. But after that, I got into production. I moved, became essentially an in-house sound guy, which I was very lucky to be continually employed for the next 25 years, 30 years.
So you made a living from music for your whole life?
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So, and then...
You're one of those real live musos.
Yes, I was all in and have stayed all in, it's what I am. I'm a musical person. And
if you're not making music or you're not being creative, you feel like you're just... I've tried
life's
being sucked out. It's not like you...
Exactly.
It's like,
I've had periods, long periods where, I've had health issues, and it's not, depressive illnesses and stuff that have curbed my creativity for a while, but essentially I'm a musical person and have always been. And I've tried being a normal person, day jobs and stuff like that.
There's normal people out there,
That really sucks the life out of me. So I've had to stick with music. So it's a double-edged sword. It can be a blessing, it can be a curse. It's like all things in life.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for sharing that about your history in the music scene. Could you tell us a bit about maybe some highlights or some few memorable moments, of your music history and... Yeah,
highlights. Well, there's probably quite a few. I was struggling to think of any, but then I realised, hang on, there's actually heaps. So playing with my really good musicians, that's a highlight. Because it pushes you, it stretches you, you feel validated by having them on board. Well, I guess I'm talking about my fusion jaunt with my trio, which was with my friend Robert Taylor. He's passed on now, sadly, but he was famous Australian drummer, was a child prodigy, won best trio, best drummer and stuff at 11 in Perth, so very talented guy. And John Walton, bass player I played with, and really talented guy. We were so lucky to get him. He was in another band at the time, friends of mine. But yeah, that was a gift, being able to play with those guys and explore. Musically, we went down rabbit holes that you would never normally go down, but we did. And man, it was an adventure. Really, really cool. So that's a big highlight. Big gigs are always a big highlight. I got to play at the entertainment centre before this band, in my previous band, which achieved a bit of success in Perth. So that was a big thing. And yeah, other gigs, big gigs, amphitheatre gigs, the highlights.
What about this picture on the wall over here?
That picture is
I'll have to get a photo and put it in there.
Parkville Amphitheatre, and that was that was the three of us. Yeah, that was a big day for us actually. Yeah,
was that one of your most memorable moments?
Yeah, it was. I
Performing.
felt that we really connected with the audience that day. It was a very spiritual thing, spiritually uplifting thing. Feeling like the connection felt, is palpable the word? It was a very special gig.
Yeah, wow.
So yeah.
Sounds incredible. That's awesome. It'd be one of those things you kind of really got to experience to understand it. You got to really be there in the moment, like that palpable, that tangible kind of encounter and experience. And it's just something words can't even describe, right? It just kind of.
It's very hard to describe.
It's very hard to describe
what's actually going on. But you get these magic moments in live performance that you just never forget. There's just certain times where everything works out, all the bits fall into place, the audience included, and it just, they're rare. They're rare moments, but when they happen, it's very special.
Excellent. I love that, man. I love that. Well, hey, let's transition a little bit now to your where you're at now with production, with hip hop, and everything going there. So, how did you start doing Christian hip hop? Yeah,
through our mutual friend Marcus, actually, it turns out.
Yeah.
We have a friend Marcus. He's a musician. Marcus Hayden. He's around town. You can check him out. He has albums out and stuff. On Bandcamp, I think he put his latest one.
But Marcus, links in the bio.
Marcus is my good friend. We've known each other a number of years, and he met you, I believe, somewhere along the line, and you were looking for someone to mix your first album.
Yep.
And Marcus suggested me, and I'm like, sure, why not? I'll give it a go. Not having any experience with hip hop.
Because you're a big rock guy, right? Rock fusion and like what you're sharing?
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't really been a recording engineer, really, except for my own stuff, and the odd production I've done for other people has used other, guys who own studios doing their thing. But but I thought, why not? It's a local thing. Not doing anything else at the moment, so I agreed. And this is how Jett and I got started, and we mixed his first album. We recorded the vocals here in my home project studio, which isn't high-end, but it's good enough. And
how have you found that overall experience of transitioning, from the rock to the hip-hop to
It's been an adventure. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. It's kind of, as I've been recovering from pretty severe health problems in the last few years. I'm through now, thankfully, and it's really reignited my interest in doing more stuff. So doing my own stuff, doing other people's stuff, I don't mind. But it's been a gift.
Awesome.
It's been an absolute gift, and I've had to learn about hip hop. It's a completely new genre for me, but it's been great, interesting. So yeah.
And give us your insight. What was like producing both Secret Place Psalms and now Spiritual Songs?
So Secret Place Psalms, that was basically just a mixing job and a recording job. So we recorded Jett's vocals in my room there, and then I set about mixing. We already had beats that Jett got through Yari. It was kind of challenging at times because they were all sonically different, the beats, and the songs, the flavour of the songs, the, you know, timbre of your vocal and the keys they were in and stuff. It wasn't as straightforward as you'd expect. And I actually learnt quite a bit through the process of doing that, because I've not mixed, you know, already done tracks to vocals.
What were some of the things that you learned?
Getting things in context, learning how to duck whole mixes, duck your vocal in and stuff without destroying the essence of the beat. And without it sounding like a guy on the radio who talks and the music disappears and, you know, really obvious. So to keep the excitement of the track and the you know, so transparency, I guess, transparent mixing, all sorts of things. Experimenting with different vocal sounds, different flavours. In hip hop, it's not just clear vocals, and it's not like you can just slap a reverb on here and there like in other genres, you know, that's singing. So that was a whole new journey.
So you're this full-on musician, right? You're a musical genius. And you've been,
saying genius.
And you've been making a living your whole life from it, and you've always been in the rock scene. And then all of a sudden, there's this crazy transition to now where you're doing production, you know, some hip hop songs, Christian hip hop songs.
Yeah.
And this most recent release that we did, Spiritual Songs, you actually made the beats. So you went from just doing the mixing and the mastering to this one was a bit different, because not only did you mix and master, but you also created the beats. So tell us what that was like.
That was a start from scratch journey. Yeah, I mean, I just thought, you know, my limited knowledge of hip hop, I just jumped straight in and started experimenting with drum grooves and what would fit in over the top. I mean, sounds that I discovered that I liked. I just searched for stuff, samples and stuff and I just started making stuff and just went from there. I was pretty blind, really. I just started doing it, and then I'd pass it on to Jett, and Jett would try and make sense of it and find his groove in there and put some words to it and a rap. And I think it was a journey for both of us, really, because
totally.
You know, I don't think it's typical hip hop that I came out with, is it? It's kind of got 80s and kind of, you know, EDM flavours. I don't know, there's kind of, I can't really find stuff on the internet that sounds like us in the hip hop genres.
Yeah, it's peculiar. It's different.
It's different, yeah. Which I think is great. I think,
too.
You know, we made something unique, you know.
And it was a big walk by faith, wasn't it? Because we didn't have this big kind of structured like thing. It was more so we just had peace with continue to work with each other. We didn't know exactly what the project would look like, but we just tell us about the studio process. You know, like how would we make the songs and how did that all come about?
Well, it came about because Jett wanted to do another album. He's going, "We want to do another album. I really miss our sessions." And I'm like, "Yeah, I miss our sessions too." So he's gone, "You know, you reckon you can pull it off?" And I'm like, how hard can it be? So yeah, that's how it started. And we just dove in.
Yeah.
Like I said, I started mucking around with just experimenting basically to begin with, and putting stuff together. Jett would give me some directions as to what he felt things needed, and we talked about themes. It's all biblically based, but themes from a more human perspective, I guess. We talked about, which didn't immediately take hold, but we managed to fit it all together and come up with.
I'd say this project is very collaborative. It was like
collaborative.
A lot of us, bouncing off ideas with each other.
For sure.
Certain songs you just come in and you said, hey, I see this direction for this song.
Yeah.
Other times in the studio, be like, hey, have you got some lyrics yet? Let's just record some lyrics, and then you put a song behind it. And so it was all different ways that the songs came about. Right? It wasn't just kind of one size fits all. It was yeah.
These sounds invoke this kind of scenery, and we're really thinking about the flavour of the things we came up with, and making them fit together. So, I mean, we started off fairly slowly at first. We started at the end of June, I believe, and but then as things progressed, I became more productive, I think, with the beats, and Jett was great with coming up with words and verses and stuff pretty quickly. And then we record and we do quick mixes and move on. We didn't want to be too precious about things we came up with, because sometimes it's just wasted time if we spend too much time on things to be at the start, and then we decide, not really feeling this one. We wasted days mixing it.
We like to let it sit in the oven, just marinate, just cook, not half baked.
Exactly. Things show their worth over time, I think. And, so yeah, and then but at the end, once we picked our album and the songs we were going to do, the mixing was a mission.
Yeah, tell us more about the mixing, because that's another beautiful character trait of you, Andrew. Andrew is definitely a perfectionist. He's someone who
I cannot help it,
and loves every little bit, every bob, every in, every out, just to be just seamless. And yeah,
I mean, you wanted it out before Christmas, and I'm thinking, yeah, sure, we could do that. And I'm getting towards today, I'm thinking, man, I'm taking way too long with these, because it wasn't just straight sound mixing. I was making new adjustments to arrangements, changing parts, really trying to cement the themes together. It was.
You like to take your time with the mixing process.
Well, I want something to be, a piece of art in its own right. I don't want it to just be like an experiment or a demo, or
lots of detail as well. You love putting lots of detail in, and
I want it to be as good as
intricacy
as it should be, as we can get it. But also, there's time constraints, and you've got to put things down at some stage. And I do have the habit of going too far sometimes. I go, maybe I can do it a little bit better. Maybe if I experiment with this, and I'll waste hours and hours and hours basically wrecking it, what I've come up with already. So it's good to go back a couple of days on it. Actually, that was a few hours wasted. It was better before. So going back through previous mixes and previous arrangements, it's all part of the process. Finding the one that had the magic that we're going to put that one in, and making sure we don't lose that magic through over processing, stuff like that. It's quite a process. So yeah, as Jett said, I'm a finicky person when it comes to these things. I'm maybe a little too pedantic at times, but I don't know. It's my nature. What can I say?
We love your nature. And how have you found the overall, release of spiritual songs? Are you happy with it?
I'm happy with it.
You happy with how it turned out?
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. And what would you say is the difference between the first release and the second release, Secret Place Psalms to spiritual songs?
Well, I got to be way more creative this time, which I loved. Making stuff. I love making stuff, and writing. Yeah, so I had total kind of creative freedom on this. So as opposed to the first one, which was more of just a mixing job.
True.
It's been great. It's been a gift, actually.
And you really enjoyed the creative process of it all?
I really have, yeah. And I've just, there's things I've, explored, tools I've learned to use and stuff that I've never needed to before. It's been fantastic on many levels.
Would you say that it's inspired or encouraged you in your personal music, in your personal, walk to?
It has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it's motivated me a lot. Getting up every day and going in there and doing stuff. It's gotten me into a flow, and I've been quite creative too lately. So in amongst all the chaos of getting it done before Christmas or before the 31st, as we ended up with another 5 days, which was good. It was worth it, those 5 days.
Totally, man, totally.
It's pushed me along. It's probably gotten me out of a big rut. Our friend Marcus has been encouraging me for many years. How are you going to do this kind of stuff? And, you should be doing this and that. And, it's been really encouraging on every level, and motivating, and it's just great.
Well, I can pass on that same Thanksgiving back to you, because definitely if you listen to the songs, how it sounds, and then after Andrew's done with it, like, it'd be so bad without Andrew. Literally, it sucks without Andrew, but then Andrew touches it and puts it all together and mixes and masters it, and it sounds great. So thank you, man. You do amazing work, so keep up the great work. Thank you very much.
We can only do our best, Jett.
And what can we expect to see from you in the future, Andrew?
Well, I'm hoping to do an acoustic guitar and piano album.
Wow! All right, let's go.
Because I have quite a few old pieces that I've not really recorded properly yet. I'm going to have to practice a fair bit to get them down properly, and so I can follow up with performances and stuff, hopefully. But that's my aim for this year.
Tell us a bit more about that. I'm curious about that. What exactly does that entail or look like?
Well, I've got probably an album worth of acoustic guitar instrumental pieces that are in the kind of fusion genre, I guess. I'm trying to simplify them because I think some of them are just a little bit too focused on dazzling technique, which, I don't know, it's fallen out of favour with me lately. I think more making my music more connective, I think, on an emotional and a spiritual level is what I'm aiming for. So some rearranging. I've been working with new keys, new tuning, guitar tunings. So you have to learn different fingerings and stuff, but experimenting. And I've started a new piece or two in just recently, so I'm hoping to get something nice out of that. But yeah, my main focus is to make music that connects, make an album that connects instantly, hopefully. It's a pretty high thing to aim for, but I think if it's very connected, I guess, with my own interaction with people in the world, and my own interaction with myself. To be in that kind of spiritual with God and very uncluttered space where, you don't have, expectations, genre specific, memes and stuff creeping into your consciousness. It's kind of a meditative space that I guess I'm aiming for, that's uncluttered, and I hope to come up with something that organic, that it resonates with me and with, I need to be happy with it, of course, but it's a musical space that I'd forgotten I really had a natural gift for. In my youth, it was super apparent, I guess, even though I was, it's still quite very contemporary. It was about the emotion and the spiritual connection. So rediscovering that recently was a good thing, and I really hope to get back to that, and maybe not. I mean, we always have to be contemporary at some stage. You've got to speak people's language. But yeah, I want it to be, I don't know how I can explain it anymore, but more real, more organic and genuine and peaceful and adventurous and encouraging and uplifting and just good things.
That's incredible, Andrew. I'm excited to hear it. I mean, you're very talented. God's gifted you so much with music. So yeah, man, continue to let that light shine. So as we conclude this interview, are there any final words or points or things you'd like to share?
Well, I want to thank you, Jett, for being, for trusting me with your stuff and collaborating with me and getting me into the gym. That's been a good one. Jett's making me fit. And it's just been great making friends, being, my new friend Jett, who's a street preacher and a rapper. I mean, I just love you as a person, and I'm really grateful for our friendship.
Me too, man. I love you too, bro. I mean, that's how this came about, right? The first one was just coming together to do the mixing, right? But then we through that mixing, through catching up, we actually grown a brotherhood and a genuine friendship, and that's where this kind of second album came from, where it was both of us just catching up and doing the music together. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love you, brother.
You too.
And we thank you all for watching. Hope this was a blessing unto you, and enjoy. Until next time.
Jesus Christ is Lord, Jesus Christ is King, and every knee will bow, every tongue will confess.